I made a video and I shared it on TikTok, and I give an example of how Mexicans, they love basketball and they love rap music, but they hate black people. And then a lot of Mexican people were in the comment section saying things like, oh, basketball was not invented by a black man. Let's be honest here. When you watch basketball, what are you looking at? Are you looking at Mexicans bouncing the ball? Are you looking at Asians? Are you looking at white guys? Come on. So when I say you like basketball, but you don't like black people, you know what I mean. When I say you love rap music, but you don't love black people, don't start telling me how there's Mexican rappers and white rappers. No. Who sets the trends in rap? The way we dress? Who are we dressing like? Let's be honest. We're not trying to dress like white guys. Even white brands. Gucci, you name it. Who makes them popular? Once again, who has the voice? Who has worked hard to be the world's influencers? Who are the trendsetters? It's black people. Black people. And there is no machine helping black people become the trendsetters. And no, it's the opposite. The machine works for white people to make efforts so that white people have the voice, the say so, the influence, etc. But yet, black people are this powerful that no matter how much you try to suppress them, systemically oppress them, and silence them, they will find a way to be the trendsetters, to be the ones to tell you, look, this is how we're supposed to dress. This is how we're supposed to make music. This is how we're supposed to play ball, etc. When you're wearing jerseys, are you wearing a Mexican basketball player jersey? Stop. You're wearing the jerseys of black basketball players. Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, whatever, you name them. They're black. You've never once seen any Mexican guy with a Mexican basketball player jersey on. I'm sorry. Whenever you wear your shoes, what shoes are you wearing? You're wearing Jordans? Whatever it is that you're wearing, who set the trend for you to dress this way, for you to talk like this, and walk like this, and behave like this? Who? Oh, but never mind who created anything. Never mind. Who are you trying to mimic, and who it is that you are influenced by? Whenever it is that you're watching basketball, who are you watching? Are you watching it for white basketball players? For Asian basketball players? No. You're watching it for black. What jerseys are you wearing? There's this Mexican rapper who got on a radio show and said something along the lines of this. I'm paraphrasing, but more or less this is what he said. I would never sign to a black label. And I'm thinking to myself, but yet you are taking black culture, monetizing it, exploiting it, and yet you have hatred for black people. You don't feel like you're low enough to be signed by a black label / individual. But will you be signed by a white man? Absolutely. So when you say to me that, oh, white people or non-black people want to be black, that's why they get lip injections, etc. We all just want to take from black. That's what it is. We want to take what we like from black people, but we don't really respect black people. We don't even necessarily like black people. Sure, we may be inspired by a black person, by a Michael Jordan. Sure, I could be a father and I could be the biggest fan of Michael Jordan, but my daughters better not bring a black guy home.
Breaking news you can use, folks. You're going to want to hear this. There are reports that the Hispanic community is incessantly reminding Black Americans that Afro-Latinas exist, which is ironic because Mexico only acknowledged their existence in 2015. Prior to that, the label Afro-Latina was not an available option on the census, meaning that these Afro-Mexicans were not protected under any type of laws, all while suffering large disparities in Mexico. They have the highest poverty rate, and Afro-Mexican women report at about 23 to 30% racial discrimination from non-Black Mexicans. Their existence was only acknowledged after years of Afro-Mexican activists pushing for this inclusion and demanding protections under the law against racial discrimination from non-Black Mexicans. Statistics show that Afro-Latinas are treated horribly in Mexico. This is corroborated by multiple videos from Afro-Mexicans sharing their stories of experiences of being an Afro-Mexican in Mexico, stating that they received anti-Black hate from non-Black Mexicans, even in their families. There is a clear caste system very much present in Mexico. So to that I'd say Black Americans are aware of Afro-Latinos, but Latinos apparently aren't until it's convenient. Just another Black body to use. Black Latinos, in fact, have reported feeling more accepted by Black people with no Hispanic or Latino descent than from the Latino community. Folks, it appears that the Hispanic community is scrambling to put blame on Black Americans while failing to acknowledge their own racism both in the United States and in their home countries. This has been Crystal Black with News You Can Use. Toodaloo.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, Africans. I hope you're faring well where you are. You see, one of the things the first president of the Republic of Kenya said when he was asked the challenges affecting Africans in his country, he called out for ignorance. He said that Africans had ignorance, and that is what was affecting them. Yeah, the guy died somewhere in 1978, but his words still remain till today. Ignorance, such a big problem, affecting all kinds of people. Doesn't have to be Black, doesn't have to be any other race. Just, it's a human thing, right? Right now I'm looking back because there's a trending video online. The topic is just one which is not so new because we speak about this close to every day, right? Racism. Racism is a form of ignorance, that is affecting Black people, that is affecting white people, Asians. Think of it, anyone. Racism is ignorance and it affects us all, right? And racism is expressed in many ways. There's no any singular way of saying that racism only takes place in this domain and not in this other domain. In the economic domain, in the social domain, in the political domain, it all shows up, right? But mostly it shows itself in the social domain. The social domain is where we have also marriages. Marriage is the only foundation, or is the only kind of relationship that exposes who you really are. Your friends don't know who you are. Even your parents, they don't know who you are. The only person that knows who you are is your partner, is the love of your life. Or is that someone you live with? That is the person who knows the demon you are, right? And so we are going to see a video whereby a Black man who is in a mixed, or rather who is in how do I call it? Somebody who does not marry in their race. I don't know how we call it. Yeah, so he is in that relationship and he exposes a lot of things that happens behind closed doors while he is in this specific relationship. It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. And some of us, we may wish to have this kind of marriages. But no, sometimes it's better to marry within your own people, right? And you're about to find out why. Let's dive into this video. Listen to the gentleman. I shall get back, and also where we shall also have a deep, critical analysis. Let's dive in.
Mijares La Raza has so many complexities to it. The Spaniards believed in G-side through assimilation. How did they do this? Through intermixing. They absorbed a group of people's identity. They absorbed a group of people culture through intermixing until it's no longer recognizable. And that's what Latin America practiced to today. They feel like the Latino is the new superior race, and they prefer the European DNA, whereas they feel like the black and indigenous identity is something that they have to overcome. So they're to a point where they don't need to intermingle with them anymore. They just exclude them. And that's why you see black Latinos fighting for their life to be Latino, because the ideal, the concept of a Latino is to be black free, to be indigenous free, to look European as possible. You don't fit into the game plan. So it makes sense for their parents to be mad for bringing home a black person, because it doesn't fit the La Raza. It doesn't fit the Mijares La Raza.
Say what y'all want to say about Hispanics not supporting black people, but baby, I made one post supporting them and I got 800 new Mexican family members on my motherfucking page, bitch. They do not play. Calling me chula, prima, mija, this, that, and the motherfucking third, bitch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. After living in Arizona for so many years, one thing that I know about Mexicans, they're extremely family oriented. And one thing I know is every time that I have supported them, anytime I have been in their motherfucking space, bitch, I'm family. But no, that's some real shit about them. They really stay together no matter the fuck what. And literally me putting giving them a little bit of recognition did so much for me. I wasn't even doing it for myself, bitch. I really feel some type of way for them. I love them.
Dear Mexican women, okay, I have a question. I want to ask y'all something. What is the problem that y'all don't like black women? And I'm letting y'all know, they don't like us, okay? They are another race that tries to look over us and act like as if they don't see us, okay? But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm talking about this. This morning, I'm taking my babies to school. It is testing. They have to be on time, okay? So I'm leaving the house. I'm in good, I got a good energy going on. I'm making sure my children good. I done prayed and all the above. Baby, I'm coming down the street. She coming down the street. I don't know if she got her mom or her sister, I don't know, in the car. She looking at me all crazy, so I'm looking back, but I'm trying not to embarrass my children in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying not to embarrass them, embarrass them, embarrass myself. I don't want that old me to come out. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I'm really like a changed person. You know what I'm saying? So, looking at me as if I don't belong here. What you doing? But I noticed that about y'all. I've been noticed that about y'all too. I'm going to call everything out on my page. I'm not leaving y'all out. I don't know what the problem is if y'all, the men love us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what the problem is. And then when somebody bite back, then the first thing y'all gonna be doing, pulling y'all child cameras, Mexican women, and calling us as if, oh, look at them, they mad, they racist, they this and that. No, fix your attitude. Fix your attitude. For real. Y'all really do be on some other shit, for real. And we noticed that. I'm not the only one that noticed that. Y'all noticed that? That Mexican women, first of all, they act like they don't need much seals. And then the ones that feel like they're a little cocky, they'll look at you crazy. Hugs and love, be blessed. But I'm just saying, though, I just had to put that out there. J-Lo. Maybe I need to go pray. I don't know. That just really kind of, I ain't gonna say it messed up my day. It just put me like in this frustrating, like, you know what I'm saying, mad, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, place. You know what I'm saying? But hugs and love, be blessed, J-Lo. I'm gonna make the best of things. I'm gonna turn my day around.
Hey, racist people, this video is for you and you only. Yes, I said racist people. You're not gonna like this, but Mexicans do it better. Almost every single thing, they do it better. Except for mass shootings. You guys are a lot better at that. Yeah, but other than that, Mexicans do almost everything better. Oh wait, except for consuming meth. Yes, you guys are a lot better at consuming meth. But yeah, but except for that, everything else Mexicans do better than. Well, no, hold on. Except for marrying your cousin. You guys are really, really good at that. Y'all got the Mexicans on that one. But other than that, Mexicans do almost everything better. It's a really, really sad life that you live. You are gonna be deprived of so many wonderful things that other cultures beyond even just Mexicans can offer you. You will never taste what I am tasting right now. This would make your brain explode. 2 flavors of things that you would never think to put together. And no, it's not a green fruit that you think it is. This is something that would just make your eyeballs pop out of your head. You're like, oh, that's good. That almost makes me want to not marry my cousin.
The reason why Mexican OT and other people from outside of the Black community feel comfortable with saying the N-word is because people from inside of the community allow it. The reasons why places like the Shade Room are able to thrive with desecrating the Black community is because people within the Black community allow it. We can complain about people like him saying the N-word, but when he had that popular soundbite that was trending and everybody was showing their grills, everybody was using the soundbite. The soundbite of a non-Black person that says the N-word freely. Nobody had a problem with him then. People will talk about the fact that the Shade Room's founder is somebody who is not Black American, but at the same time, the Shade Room has over 29 million followers. They ain't all from Africa. When the Kardashian Jenners spent the bulk of their career cosplaying Black women, who was the good portion of people around them? I'll let y'all answer that. And every time that family has a product drop, y'all are outside buying it. So until we as an entirety of a community get very serious about ourselves and about what respect looks like for ourselves and our culture and what disrespect looks like and what we won't tolerate, which includes not supporting, not engaging with, and not tolerating Black folks who are in community with people who choose to continuously disrespect us. How much of an argument then do we have to be taken seriously?
Black people in Mexico were not even acknowledged until recent years. Their presence was not acknowledged by the government up until very recent years. But yet, they have been there since days of slavery. You understand? So, since the days of slavery, a lot of the slaves in North America, in the United States, a lot of the slaves ran to Mexico to hide. And a lot of them have been living there. And not only that, but a lot of these Spaniards, they brought some slaves to Mexico too. So Black people have been in Mexico for hundreds of years. But Mexican government has not acknowledged their presence until very recent years. And that is why I made a video and called it Afro-Mexican. Because these people have been there for many years with their own communities, speaking Spanish of course, but they acknowledge their African ancestry. They acknowledge it. That's why they self-identify as Afro-Mexican, because they're acknowledging their African roots. And the government has not bothered with them. When you watch telenovelas, Spanish telenovelas, have you ever seen a Black man? No, never. But yet, Black people have been there since the Europeans have been there. For hundreds of years.
White people, other non-Black people, and some Black people either believe, try to believe, or disillusion themselves into believing that racism towards Black people is somehow interchangeable with other forms of discrimination. That thought process is displayed on how they have the discussion on intersectionality, and therein lies my problem with intersectionality. And that is why I tell Black people that we need to focus on being Black first before anything else. Because being Black is the biggest danger over every other type of discrimination. For instance, you being told you're Black and that is why you did not get the job is worse than being told you're LGBTQIA+, and that is why you did not get the job. Being told you're not getting the job because you're Black is worse than being told you're not getting it because you are disabled, etc. Because what that says to say that you're Black and that's why you're barred from the job means that you could be a part of any other type of group and still get that job. But Black was the first identifier in disqualifying you from it. Because you can be LGBTQ and not Black. You can be disabled and not Black. You can be anything and not Black. And as long as those things are not disqualifiers to the people in the position of having power over you, you're safe. You could be Black and nothing else that is discriminated against. That is a heterosexual, able-bodied, rich Black man. He could fit all the requirements of the status quo, but because he's Black, he's disqualified. This is important to note. Why? Because when we talk about hierarchy of society, we say that who is the most harmed? Black trans women. Above that is black women. Above that is black men, and so on and so forth. No mention of sexuality is anywhere else in that hierarchy when we have these discussions. And if it is, it skips black women and black men. Why? Because the most vulnerable in our community is not the most vulnerable because they're trans. It's because they're black. If they were just trans, they wouldn't be at the bottom of the social hierarchy. Meaning, we could fight as black people for everyone's rights. In fact, we have. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, prime example. And everyone else benefited greatly from that. Black people benefited the least. Black people do not have time for intersectionality. That is a privileged person's game. When black people are being shot down by police, they are not being asked their gender or sexuality or disability status or class status first. It's because they're black. Now, I'm not saying that those other things are not attached onto blackness that can cause further harm. What I'm saying is that the harm was already unavoidable by them simply being black. I hope that explains it.
An older Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza.
Yeah,
that's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
Fucked
up, bro. They're fucked up,
So when my grandma moved to the city, and my grandpa moved to the city and they met, my grandma automatically just seemed better because she was with this guy from Michoacan that was light skinned and white with green eyes. And she looked like Felipe, dark, short, and that she thought she was better, fool. Like, fool, I swear to God, my grandma just passed, but she loved my nephew more than she loved my.
Right there, publicly admitting that your grandmother thought she was better than everybody else because she found her a Mexican man who was light-skinned with green eyes, and then publicly admitting that your grandma liked your niece more than your nephew because one was light and one was black. But see, we all know this. So when you're out here saying, oh, the black people, no, we know, like, come on, man. What kind of level of disrespect is this? Unless you think we're dogs that go come jumping one nigga, hey, nigga, Viva la Mexico! Is that how you view us? Is that how you see us? Like, anyways, why don't you go beg the white men that you want to mejorar la raza, your family, to come protest with you? Why is it the dark ones that will opposite of mejorar la raza, your family? Why? You don't want our dark stain on, like, the protest. That's how people meet. That's how people fall in love. A lot of people have met you don't want that shit. No, Holmes. No, Holmes.
Latina. I was born in a minority city. My father is from Dominican Republic. He's a USA citizen now. And my mother is from Puerto Rico, but she lives in the States now. I have some things I want to say about the Latino community. The one topic that I want to talk about is Black versus Hispanics. I'm going to start off as all of us are one and things that I've seen from the Black community. And I just hope that you have an open heart to what I'm about to say. I'm going to start off with the generational things that we may have been taught, right? So it went generation from generation to generation. Unless your parent broke it, there has been colorism in our own country. A lot of us are racist due to our parents and how they were raised and the way that they view the world or the things that they heard or seen about a different race, which taught us racism as well. As Hispanics, we are racist towards each other and other race. Now, I want to talk about how what's going on with our community right now is the same thing that has been going on with Black Americans for years. As we all know, ICE has been taking kids away from their parents. And it's the same thing that has been happening to Black Americans. The parents are being pulled away from their children due to imprisonment. And if you haven't realized, minorities get a harsher sentence. Some people being wrongfully imprisonated. I want you to think about that person who was incarcerated and look at their history, how they were raised, and the community that they were raised in. Did they have any resources? Did they have any help? Was the community helping that child to prevent them from getting incarcerated when they became an adult? I want to share a little experience that I had with my black friends when I went on spring break in college, and I will never forget this. I was the only Hispanic person. There was a cop behind us, and they were terrified, and I'm just like, why are y'all terrified? There's nothing that's going to happen. I truly understood at that moment. Black people have always been targeted. Black children who have been killed at the hands of a cop. Somebody who's supposed to be protecting them. They're no longer here because of a cop. A lot of people will talk about how black people kill each other, right? But I also want you to think about the colorism in our own country. Now I want you to think about why our families decided to migrate to America. We wanted you to get out of that lifestyle, how unsafe your country is, or how there's so much going on in that country that they want a better life for you. I want you to think about how you could have been dealing with the same thing that Black Americans are battling right now in America, in your own country. Now you see that Black people have been targeted their entire life. As far as ICE raids are going on right now, it is so unfortunate what's going on right now, and I stand with every family that is going through this right now. However, I want you to view Black people the same way that you're viewing ICE right now. I want you to join their fight as well, because you want them to join your fight, but what are you really doing for their fight? Are you even speaking up about the things that are going on in the Black community? Are you even aware of the things that are going on in the Black community? Before you fix your mouth to say that Black people should be joining our fight and being upset about it, I want you to look at it as you think you're entitled to their resources when you're not. Some of you guys don't even know what's going on in their communities. Things that are happening right now are unnecessary. They're illegal. A lot of the things that are going to kids' school, like all of this is frustrating to me. However, we cannot prevent it right now. So what are the steps that we're going to do for these parents who might be deported? I want you to understand that protesting is a beautiful way to voice yourself. However, they're going to look at you like you're attacking them. They're going to poke you guys. They're going to send the National Guard. They're going to send the Marines. They're going to do all of these things. They want it to not be peaceful because they want to blame us for all of the stuff that's going on right now. Why there's martial law, they're going to blame us. We're already trying to pull all of our resources, Medicaid, SNAP, all of the things that help us minorities who cannot provide for ourselves at this current moment. Why, you may ask? Because now all of this stuff is going to increase crime. They have a lot of jails. They keep building jails, prisons, all of that stuff. Why? It's all a part of a plan. Now, when it comes to deportation, it's going to happen no matter what. As much as we don't want it to happen, it's going to happen. But what about the children who are here that are Americans? There are a lot of ways that you can provide resources to the community, which is going to places that provide support and helping them by giving them a helping hand. The thing that we could do right now is get our license to notarize papers. You want to know why? Because if that person should be deported, they need to have a plan in place no matter what. If you have an American child, you need to have legal documentation with a trusted person that you know would take care of your child, signed by somebody who can do it for you, because you don't want your kid going to DYFS. Your kid could possibly go into foster care. And let me just tell you, I've seen it firsthand. There are some foster parents who do it for the money. There are some ones who are absolutely loving and your kids are in great hands with. But there are some, I just need you to go look at the stats of kids in foster care when it comes to abuse. Now that I got that all out of the way, I need you to understand that we cannot ask somebody to join our fight when we don't even acknowledge their fight. And I need you to understand the hurt and the pain that they've been through or endured by the hands of us as Latinos, because they were targeted by us as well. And I know I was all over the place, but I just wanted to bring some type of awareness when it comes to the Black and Hispanic community, due to the fact that I see certain things and I just don't understand how we don't understand why they don't want to join our fight. I just don't get it.
Now, you who has already watched this video, what's your take? Before I share my take, what's your take? What do you think of all these discussions surrounding race? What's your take? What's your idea behind it? Because remember that in every race, in every culture, and in any group of human beings, they have their own values. They have a certain tradition that they follow, right? Some traditions are rooted on, they might be rooted on what we call racism, right? Some traditions are rooted on colorism. Some traditions are rooted in classism, right? In any way or any form, we may want to look at it. An idea that I think is always being told by Dr. Umar Johnson holds to be true. It is better, and it has always been better, to marry within your own kind of people, right? Marry your own. Marry someone with whom you understand your struggles, with whom your struggles are what? Are similar. Your struggles are relatable, right? For instance, Dr. Umar Johnson says Black Americans have really suffered a lot in form of oppression, which was caused by slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. One particular race enslaved the other particular race, and so the race that was enslaved, which is the black, we must marry within our own selves. He adds, because this is the highest form of loyalty you can show to the community. That is the greatest respect you can give to those people who died during the transatlantic slave trade. I hear some were being thrown into the waters. I hear some were being killed, shot dead at the farms, right? Picking cotton and cutting sugarcane. Some died during all this, and their blood must not fall into vain. The blood must not shed. No, their blood has a meaning, right? And by the way, I want you to understand one thing. When I make this video, I'm not inciting any form of hate. No, I'm not doing that. I love white people. Back then, I might have had some white friends, one or two. So I'm not having any problem against white people. I'm having a problem against black people who marry white people, and then they start complaining. Once you set your bed, you must lay on it, right? So here I'm looking at a situation of a black person being silently oppressed, be it male or female, by the other race who think they are superior. You see, the society must have already told you earlier that you as a black person, you are not desirable, right? What makes you think, even if this particular person loves you, what makes you think that the other group of, where they come from, they'll think the same of you? What makes you think that way? I wonder what's that. Because once I also understand what's that, we can be able to get a logical sense of what makes us to marry and then start regretting. Because they might love you, their family might not. And also, we can't only blame their families. This is a long rabbit hole. It's very long, I'm telling you. Yeah. So the greatest form of loyalty a black person can offer is marrying within their own people, marrying your own. That is my perspective. Share your perspective. I'd really love to hear from you. Yes. Support me on Patreon if you may. I'll also surely appreciate. And remember, see you in the next one.